Yeah, the Sixers were cruising. Damian Lillard thought he was going to have the last word, but it was not Dame time tonight. As we welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance, Amy Fadool and Marc Jackson. And yeah, it got a little bit too close for comfort, but the Sixers pulled out another victory. They've now had 4 straight wins on the road, all coming in different ways, where they've had big leads and they've held them, or they've got a big lead in the fourth. This one was a little bit different. What do you like about this game?
I like this game. First of all, Amy, you know this. You've been around this game a long time. Look, the game is about runs. You know, everybody's going to make their run and come out through no matter what the lead is. But the Sixers held on to get the W. Got a little sloppy down the end. Portland at home. Got a little momentum going, but it wasn't enough. It's just never enough. And I'm happy that the 76ers got out with a victory.
Yes, they did. Their 4th straight on this road trip. Let's check in now out in Portland with Tyrese Maxey, joined by Kate Scott and Al Abdinabi.
All right, Tyrese Maxey. Wasn't easy, wasn't pretty there at the end of this one, but you all are now 4-0 on this road trip. How were you able to pull this one out after things got ugly in the second half?
Yeah, you know, thank God that we came out strong. We came out strong. We came out with a sense of urgency, and that really helped us build a lead. And then we buckled down and got stopped at the end when we needed to.
When you're going up against one of the elite guards in the league and Dame Lillard, what is the objective coming into the game? Are you trying to take him out, or are you trying to occupy him defensively and get yours at the same time?
A little bit of both, and then slow him down. I think D'Anthony and Matisse did a really good job on him. D'Anthony was flying around, making it tough for him. I think he got going late, but D'Anthony did a really good job. So, you know, we did collectively on them, we did a really good job. And, you know, shout out to the coaches for the game plan.
Yeah, collectively as a team, you did great on defense totally in the first half, limiting the Blazers to just 34 points. What did you like about the first 2 quarters defensively?
I think we were locked in. We were extremely locked in on the task at hand. We held Dame and Anf to a low amount of points, and I think that, you know, made it extremely tough on them. When you make it extremely tough on those guys, it's hard. You know, they're really, really good to make it tough on them, but when you do, you know you're doing a good job defensively.
Early success in this trip. How do you stay focused and get this 4th win and hopefully a 5th?
Yeah, this is going to be the big one. This is going to be the big one. We've won 4, and now it's time to sweep the road trip. And sweep the road trip, go home, and win as many games as we can.
Let's get down to Sacramento and pick up that 5th dub. Good work, Tyrese.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
Tyrese Maxey looks tired. Listen, this is a tiring game, and he was working for it in that 4th quarter. And this is where it really kind of got a little hairy. You heard him say, like, we came out with a little bit more urgency when they started to build that lead, or kind of cut into their lead, pardon me. And let's take a look at that. So when you're thinking about it, this is when we were just talking about off air, Jeremy Grant, a player who's probably a little bit underrated. Damian Lillard hooks him up there, so they got it to 9 a couple times, but they couldn't get anything close to that because the Sixers did lock it up after a while. This was off a miss.
And once again, Amy, that's showing that the 76ers have better talent, more depth that can sustain and be able to battle back when teams are making these runs. Look at this right here. And that was, by the way, that was drawn up. Joel Embiid drew it up just like that. So throw it off the floor, get it back, and fade with the right shoulder back.
Of course he did. Of course he did. And then here you go. That's pretty much sealed it right there. I mean, that's kind of those 3 plays for the Sixers offensively are really indicative of what this team does well. You're looking at Joel basically creating something out of nothing. Tyrese Maxey running as if his hair is on fire for that layup. And then obviously you can know what James Harden can do, not only a facilitator but a scorer. That was always like a little microcosm of this game. So that was good to see. But we've been looking for, here in Philadelphia, closers for the Sixers for years. And it could appear now they have at least 2 options when the games get a little bit tight. Do you like who they have out there late in games?
Absolutely, Amy. We have choices. You know, Doc just reaches in his toolbox. Let's see what we have this game. And guys come through. You need points. You got Maxey, James, Joel, Tobias. You need some shots, some 3-point shots. Let's go Melton, George Niang. I mean, and by the way, them other guys I've named can hit some shots too. So I just really think it's so important to sit back and pay attention to how these teams win these close games. People say, oh, they let them come back. Every team comes back eventually because every team is built of NBA players, and they have talent. But can you leave with the victory? In past years, Amy, we might necessarily have left with a victory here. So let's be proud of that.
Yeah, I think you could have said that about the Lakers game and the Jazz game, certainly on this. And this one, you're getting a little bit of that, I don't know. But listen, Damian Lillard's always going to get his, but they held him to under his NBA average of 29 this game. Let's check in with Doc Rivers out in Portland.
Yeah, defense was great, you know. Just swarming. Did a great job with trapping. I mean, Dame is Dame, right? And I thought Matisse and D-Mel were phenomenal. They really were. And we asked a lot of our bigs tonight to be up the whole game. You know, that's tough. And the few times we were not, he made us pay. So they had a lot to do with it as well. Then I thought we had deflections. Got our hands on a lot of balls tonight as well.
How do you think you handled their trap at the end of the game?
Poorly, but you know, we also took advantage of some of it as well. I didn't think the trapping was that hard. I thought our spacing was horrendous, you know, and we're great at spacing most nights. And tonight, we kept leaving two guys on the other side. I'm hoarse from yelling, from just to get one guy to cut through, and we basically didn't do it. We got away with 3 or 4 more that I thought they could have had, but that's easy to fix. We know where they're coming from on most nights, and we'll take advantage of that. There's no lesson. The lesson is execute, you know, and I just thought we didn't, you know. You get these leads sometimes, and they're hard, you know. In the NBA, leads shrink quickly, and then you get complacent. And I thought we did a little bit of that, but overall, the one thing I did like, even in that, we still kept playing defense overall, and that's a good sign.
I know we keep talking about it, but to go 4-0 with this toughness of the schedule, if I told you we were going to go 4-0 in these first 4, what would your reaction have been?
I wouldn't have been. I believe we could. I did. I said, you know, I think we can. And we have to expect it. We can't be surprised by it. We have to just keep playing, though. We can't expect to come in and just show up and win. We have to go out and do something about it. I was worried early about this game because just fatigue, and I thought our guys showed an amazing amount of energy to start the game. I thought that was huge for us.
Reflecting on how the first.
They did to start the game. I mean, at one point, Damian Lillard had no points. In the first half, he only had 4. So defensively, they really put the clamp down. Back here with a look at Tyrese Maxey's night, 15 points. Didn't check the radar, but pretty sure he was the fastest guy on the court, certainly probably in the Western Hemisphere at this point. 7 of 12 shooting. Look at that, 29 minutes. So he's still getting his minutes, and he's in late games. He is our Stargazing, brought to you by Get Covered New Jersey. And this has been a hot topic. Obviously, he has been moved for these different lineups, and he's coming off the bench. He gives, obviously, that second unit a huge boost. But most importantly, Mark, you think the most important part is he's in the games late when it matters most, especially in a game like this where it's crunch time.
Amy, that's the most important part. I think a lot of guys, a lot of players, male or female, they get caught up on starting. I want to start. Yes, as an NBA player, I wanted to start. But you understand when you're playing for teams that when you want to be on that floor in crunch time, when you're not in that game at the end of the game, then you got a reason to kind of gripe, say, hold on, what's going on, what I'm not doing that you don't trust me to be on there to take over this game and win. And that's the most important thing. But Max is on that court when it counts, and that's the seal of the deal, and that's all that counts for me.
Yeah, you saw him with Kate Scott and Al Abdinabi, and he's saying, listen, you know, we kind of had a little bit of let up, but they were locked in after that, and they've been locked in this entire road trip, 4-0. If they were able to get that win against the Kings coming up, it would be their first 5-0 road trip since 1984-85 season. They're going on almost 30 years. All right, let's check out Damian Lillard. Well, it was not Dame time. 25 points on 21 shots. Yeah, he was good from the free throw line, but you take those away and not that efficient of a night, really, at all. When you think about it, 6 of 21, 3 of 13 from 3. The defense on Damian Lillard is our Colonial Nissan game changer. And it's really changed the game because from the jump, they came out, locked down on him. D'Anthony Melton, obviously Matisse Thybulle. He only had 4 points. He made 1 bucket, Mark, in the first half. 1 bucket.
Yeah, we did a wonderful job of forming the wall. Every time he thought about being aggressive, Sid's like, no, you're going to see 3 jerseys right in front of you. You better get off that ball. And he had to at first, but he started forcing it because great scorers like to force the issue even when their number is not going. And he tried, but it didn't work out his way.
You see this play, I love it. I'm glad we showed that one. D'Anthony Melton, obviously very active defensively, but he never gives up on the play. You saw him get almost like he went right by him, and then all of a sudden he comes right back. And we know what Matisse Thybulle can do, obviously, but having guys that are that defensively minded, that never give up, how important is that when you're thinking about, let's be honest, we're thinking about the postseason here in Philadelphia. The regular season's great, but we're talking about getting past the second round.
Amy, let's call it the way it is. All this is great and dandy. This is good for seeding, but it's what you're doing in playoffs. You're playing the best of. That's all that matters to Philadelphians. What are you going to do in the playoffs online? And now it's time to go win that chip. You can't be normal. You can't be a one hitter quitter. You can't be able to do one thing on one end. You got to be able to do everything we need you.